Okay, we are back. See, that wasn't too painful. Switching tapes, 2 minutes and 7 seconds left to go here.
I'll tell you, what a crew we have up here, huh? We get a very lucky timeout for a measurement.
And it makes Tony Koya looks good. Tony Koya, of course, the production director, et cetera, 8 years of this. And what does he say? We're going to change tapes at the 2 minutes warning. And then, of course, you have to say to Tony, there is no 2 minute warning, Tony, in high school football. Clutch man, you're right.
Tony was hit one too many times with that leather helmet on when he played for North Philly.
Yeah,
that's right.
1943 was the year. Here we go, Danny Boyd taking the pitch, going to the left side, up the sideline, pick up maybe about 6 yards. Eagles getting closer to first down. It might be 3rd and 4 here. Minute 50 and counting, Jeff. I think it would be redundant if we once again said this is a big play, but it would be accurate. If Norristown can get the first down here, they have pretty much locked up this contest.
1:41 to play. They're inside Viking territory at the 37-yard line. Jim Scott at quarterback, out of the I formation. Darrell Moses and Danny Boyd. The pitch, fumble! I don't believe it.
I do.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think they're now raising the curtain on that stage we said earlier.
And I believe it was number 41, John Sokowski, the right corner, that came up and made that play. Jim Scott took it. It was a bad pitch, first of all, but you have to share the blame between him and Danny Boyd. Boyd couldn't hold it, but it was a bad pitch from Scott. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, we have a minute 17 and counting. Upper Merion with the ball. I'm surprised they haven't called a timeout here either, because they've wasted a good 30 seconds.
And folks, the ball is at the 39-yard line of the Vikings. They go to the air. There's pressure. Stephen McCall, what a play!
And I'll tell you, that should be intentional grounding, because the only man that was near it was one of the offensive tackles. There you go, folks.
There's the flag. They're going to call that intentional grounding, I'm sure.
I'll tell you,
Stephen McCall, oh, what a huge play.
The only player that was even close to that ball when Moresco released it was his center, Brad Lowe. Eagles coaches were right on it, and all the players.
That's
and finally,
the call.
one of the field judges threw the flag.
That's the call, folks, intentional grounding.
You know, it's still a smart play by Moresco, though. Rather than risk the sack, the interception, get rid of the ball. It's only costing you 5 yards here. He would have lost a good 10 to 15 on the sack. But now, a minute 3 to go, 13-7. Well, Jeff, you want to go out with an exciting game. This is it for you.
I'll tell you. And that is loss of down.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That's right. That's a 5-yard penalty and loss of down for intentional grounding. So it'll be 2nd down and 15.
Boy.
That's the crucial part when you have intentional grounding. It's not only the 5 yards, it's the loss of down. So 2nd down and 15, a 5-yard loss on the play.
Well, you can just feel the tension here in the crowd. Everybody up on their feet. Moresco dropping back. Here comes the rush. A little short dump pass to one of his tailbacks. Plenty of room in the middle of the field. Upper Merion getting close to the midfield line, 49-yard line. The ball's down.
Mike Carroll made the tackle that time, Alan, for the Eagles. And that was a nice screen. They had Norristown diving in on Moresco, and he dumps it off.
And they are
Moresco is yelling at his team to line up. They're waiting in a huddle. He wants them to line up. He throws the ball out of bounds.
I would guess that we don't have an official score here, but I would guess they have one timeout remaining, and they're holding on to that one. That's the only thing I can figure here. I know they used 2 of them in the 3rd quarter.
We have 35 seconds to play, folks. 13-7, Norristown ahead. The Vikings with the ball. As a result of a Norristown fumble, the Eagles had every opportunity to lock this ball game away. 35 seconds to play.
There you see the Eagles defense huddling on the field. It's all up to them now. Norristown's won 3 of the last 4 Thanksgiving Day clashes. Well, we've told you for the last 2 hours to stay tuned. It's going to come down to one of those exciting finishes, and here we've delivered again.
I'll tell you, if you ever tune into one of these games, you make sure you tune in for that last minute. Boy, I'll tell you, I don't understand that. It was 4th down. That was the situation. We're sorry, folks. It was 4th down and 1. They needed that yardage for the first down.
That's right. They had a 2 up there, and now it's a 4 on the thing. They got the first down, though.
Oh, boy, that was close, too.
I'll tell you, they got
that ball up the middle.
And they got that first down by maybe a yard.
And now Upper Merion calls timeout with 30 seconds to play.
Now, explain this to me, though. Why do you throw the ball away on 3rd down instead of calling the timeout, which you have still? That way you leave yourself with a 4th and 1 play, do or die situation, when you could have went 3rd down, run the ball, you don't get it, call timeout, you have another down to do it.
I agree. Here you are, I guess that's what confused us, is that we didn't realize it was fourth down because they wasted that down. They lost the down on the intentional grounding. They pick up the yardage almost to get to the first down. They're third down and less than a yard. Then he, instead of going for that yardage right away, keeping the ball, he throws it out of bounds, and now he's got fourth down, where if he loses it now, the game's over.
Yeah.
So they do get the first down, and they are just on midfield. The ball is sitting now on the 50-yard line with 30 seconds to play. And say it for you again, the Eagles ahead 13-7.
And 30 seconds to play. It was only back in 1980. The Eagles were in this situation on the 48 with 20 seconds to go. And they came up 14 seconds to go, actually, and they came up with the winning touchdown.
They got the kickoff with 20 seconds to go. I believe one of the Beccatinis took the field goal with about 30 seconds to go. Eagles got it back with 20 seconds to go, and they scored and won the game. Went 81 yards in 2 plays. 30 seconds to play. Moresco at quarterback. Offsides. I don't believe it. Ed Holinsky, your star, moves before the snap.
Well, 10-1. You didn't hear the snap count down there. It's so noisy at this stage of the game.
Illegal procedure called against Upper Merion. That'll move him back 5 yards. It'll be first down and 15. The downs really aren't of too much consequence here, though.
I'll tell you, Upper Merion's trying their best to let Norristown win this game.
Not the prettiest Thanksgiving Day game I've ever seen.
Here's another one for you. How about 2 years ago when this game was here? Jim Koresko, a 42-yard field goal as time expires.
Oh, that was incredible. Plenty of time. Interception, no! Rob Horton had the ball in his hands. He thought he had an interception and was going to lock the victory away. Just missed it. The intended receiver was Bill Daywalt at that time.
Rob Horton, the leading interceptor for the Eagles with 5 of them. Boy, that would have been a big one. Number 6 on the year if he only could have pulled it in.
24 seconds to play. Second down and 15. The ball is still on the 45-yard line of the Vikings.
There you see the play being shuttled in from the sideline from Steve Shine.
Moresco had time to throw that last play, Alan.
I'll tell you, everybody's watching the clock here. 24 seconds and ticking. Overthrew Holinsky.
And do you remember how that play was set up 2 years ago? 2 pass interference calls.
That was Coach Tom Pierantozzi out there complaining to the official scorer that the clock didn't get started. A complaint that the scorers also heard, or timekeepers also heard from quite a few fans here in front of us. Can't fall asleep at this stage. Well, Jeff, 16 seconds on a third down here.
Clock is running. There's the screen. They throw to Foster. He's got some running room. Tripped up by Mike Carroll.
Mike Carroll comes through with a biggie there. I'll tell you, because you're right, he had at least 2 more blockers in front of him and another 10 yards to go.
And a timeout with 7 seconds remaining. The ball is marked at about the 43-yard line of Norristown. I was about to say that that play that set up the victory 2 years ago, 2 pass interference calls against the Eagles, which both of them, I hate to second guess an official, but both of them were questionable at best in the waning moments of a ball game. 2 pass interference calls, and they set up a 42-yard field goal attempt. I mean, how many high school kickers make a 42-yard field goal attempt? That young man did it.
And Jim Koresko made it on his very first try at the varsity level. That, hey, it's just part of this, the lure of this series. There you see, of course, the Norristown cheerleaders all lining up on the Eagles bench. Everybody on their feet.
People are starting to stand now here at Roosevelt Field. Almost everybody on their feet, at least on this Norristown side. The Upper Merion side still sitting. 7 seconds to play. It's fourth down. This will be the last play of the game, no doubt about it.
And in about 5 minutes, you're probably going to witness one of the biggest traffic jams in Norristown history, too, as they all pack out of here. Okay, this is do or die time for Upper Merion. Pick your cliche, but this is it.
Fans are up. Everybody's clapping. A lot of noise here at Roosevelt Field. Moresco back. He drops. Throws the ball up. Daywalt down there. Intercepted by Darian Smith. Number 3, Darian Smith. No time remaining. There's a flag on the play.
That's right, a flag out at the 40-yard line of Norristown. Let's see what the call is going to be here.
Nope, the official waves it off. No flag. Ball game's over. Norristown wins on Thanksgiving Day here at Roosevelt Field. Final score 13-7. The Eagles take the Vikings to defeat here on this Thanksgiving Day 1986. Alan and I will be back in just a moment with a wrap-up of this program.
I'll tell you, folks, we'll be back in just a couple seconds here with the post-game show, but Jeff, that final score 13-7. Norristown has now won 4 of the last 5 Thanksgiving Day battles. And once again, another thrilling finish. There you see the Eagles and their fans, the cheerleaders. And this is a nice sight. You're seeing the
team shaking hands. That's great.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, this was not a game that was filled with conflict. There wasn't a lot of fighting out there. There wasn't any animosity. It was a good, clean ball game, and the Eagles came out on top.
Crowd starting to file out of Roosevelt Field. 13-7, that final score there. You see everybody out at the midfield line. And folks, we will be back in just a minute with our post-game show. Your final score, Norristown 13, Upper Merion 7.
Final score, 13-7. The Norristown Eagles with a big Thanksgiving Day victory over the Vikings of Upper Merion. Alan, it wasn't perhaps the game we thought it would be, but the final minutes lived up to their reputation. We saw a very interesting final 2 minutes of this game.
Well, you know, it comes down to entertainment, and that's what the fans and anyone watching this game got today. 13-7, your final score. Upper Merion had a chance. They were throwing there. Final play, finally, Darian Smith puts an end to all the suspense with the key interception, and the Eagles walk off the field with their 4th victory in their last 5 Thanksgiving Day clashes with Upper Merion. And more importantly now, Upper Merion's lead in this series cut to 15 wins, 13 losses as of today, and 4 ties. So there you go. The Vikings still lead the series, but the Eagles drawing closer each year. And of course, what can we say? Big win for Roger Grove and his crew in their final game.
Well, I'm sure this wasn't the easiest game for Roger to take. I'm sure there were some nerve-wracking points for him in this contest, but all that really matters is the final score is 13-7. Norristown is up on top. I wasn't overly excited about this ball game. It wasn't the best played football game I've ever seen. There was a lot of punting, but then again, there was a lot of good defense. Let's give both teams' defenses some big credit. Norristown had some key interceptions, 3 interceptions as a matter of fact. They deserved to win this ball game. I think they outplayed the Vikings without a doubt.
I agree with you there. Norristown, of course, came out and turned the fans on early in this game. Just the 3rd play from scrimmage, a minute 58 into the contest. Forrest Davis breaking out of the backfield, and Jim Scott found him. It was a 68-yard touchdown toss to Forrest Davis, who ran a good 40 yards of that distance. Went in, Eagles up 7-0, but then Upper Merion came back. Although Norristown had plenty of opportunities, and you hit on this point quite a few times in the last half, to take further advantage, but they couldn't capitalize. 2 interceptions, no points.
That's right. Norristown had all the breaks in this game. There's no doubt about it. They had great field position. Never were they in a hole. They never had to worry about climbing out from the 2-yard line or whatever else. The Vikings were fighting an uphill battle the entire morning, and I just don't think they had enough to beat Norristown this year. Norristown had the firepower. Norristown had a very superior team this year, and they wind their season up 8-3-1. I think a very successful season for Roger Grove. Those 3 losses were tough losses. They came all in a row, which might bunching them kind of seemed to make it a little bit worse to CBE, CB West, and Abington, but certainly no disgrace to lose to those 3 teams. They played great football this season.
And, you know, just to finish recapping the scoring here, after Norristown went up 7-0, Matt Morosco, who threw the 2 interceptions the Eagles couldn't take advantage of, came back, found his favorite receiver, Ed Helinski. It was a 22-yard touchdown pass, 4 minutes, 44 seconds left to go in the first half. And then, of course, the one that won it all, 1 minute and 54 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Jim Scott, a 1-yard plunge. Upper Merion with the loss, let's see, they finish 6-6 on the season overall. Norristown, as you said, coming in here with leaving the field with an 8-3 record. A couple of big careers coming to an end here today, of course. One for Upper Merion, Ed Helinski, who has been getting quite a few offers from college as far as scholarships go. He finishes the year, I think, with 32 catches, most for a Vikings wide receiver, tight end, since 1975, I think was the year. And, of course, for the Eagles, their main man for the past 2 seasons, Wayne Denson's career rushing record, didn't fall today, but you can't fault Danny Boyd because he had a tremendous year, nearly 1,300 yards in rushing, finishes was well over 2,400 yards in his career.
No, Danny Boyd played a fantastic season, and it seems Norristown churns those running backs out. I don't know where Roger Grove finds them, but he's always got a great back. It's either Wayne Denson or Danny Boyd or whomever, but he's always got somebody in that backfield to lead the Eagles, and Danny Boyd was the leader this year. But give credit to Jim Scott. Scott, a junior quarterback who will be back next year for Roger Grove. Scott played a fine season. I was impressed with Jim Scott. He led this team well and stepping into some very big shoes with Frank Cassano leading the Eagles this year.
And let's remember how important it will be to have a quarterback with a full 12 games under his belt coming back for his senior season next year. They may not have Danny Boyd and Forrest Davis, but when you've got your quarterback, you're halfway there as far as having a good offense. So a great game, 13-7, and how could we not possibly thank all the people that are taking care of us here at Norristown Area School District. Tony Koya directing and producing this ball game. Sam Galbraith, who at this very moment is hoping we wrap this game up soon so he can go home and have his Thanksgiving Day meal. But Sam here for half the season too, and he will be with us, of course, through basketball season. And you will handle all the camera people for us?
Of course. So we'd like to thank Mr. Chad Harp, Paul Bean, John Collins, Suzanne and Denise McCoskey for all of their assistance today. I'd like to thank Walt Fry for helping us out during the season this year. He was a big help to us. Folks, we've enjoyed it. It's been another exciting year of Norristown High football, another successful year. We thank you. We hope you'll join us for basketball this season. We have an exciting year of basketball ahead. We're looking forward to it. Coach John Cresswell should have a job on his hands with all those guards to shoot around and shuttle time in and out. But anyway, thank you for being with us for football season. For Alan Raleigh, I'm Jeff Brandon. We thank you, and stay tuned. Don't forget, during the week, there's great Norristown High School programming, and enjoy your Thanksgiving Day.